My name is Elizabeth Vaughn. I live in the Phoenix area, but I grew up in the Midwest, which is where my story takes place, back in the early 80s. We weren't very tech savvy then as teenagers. I mean, a tech savvy teenager would maybe be part of the AV club at school or know how to hook up his own Atari. We didn't take selfies or videos of ourselves and post them. We didn't have social media. It just wasn't such a techie time as it is now. I was in high school for the first time. I had just gone from junior high to high school, and I was an awkward kid for sure. I rode the bus to school. I was geeky. I was in choir class. And in that class, my choir director had assigned me a solo. We were working on the music from the musical Oliver, and we were going to perform it for a packed house at the end of the semester. Sure enough, that day came, and we all watched, as the students and the faculty all filed into the auditorium. And when I say everybody, I mean everybody. It was every lunch lady, every janitor, some parents, every student. It was mandatory attendance. So the place was packed. And that made us a little bit nervous as choir members. The curtain rose, and when it did, I saw at the front of the stage something I was not expecting. It was a microphone on a microphone stand with a spotlight on it. Sure enough, when it came time for my solo, the choir director motioned for me to go up in front of the mic. Now, I had never been near a microphone before, not being tech savvy. So I went up and I did like they did on TV. I stood right in front of that mic and I began to sing. Everything went well until the last line. As long as he needs. And when I went up to hit that high note, I remember as the air escaped my lungs, I looked out at the audience. And when I hit the note, I heard it too. It was so loud. It was deafening. It was piercing. It was awful. I was way too close to the mic. Every head involuntarily snapped back in its seat. Eyes opened wide, jaws dropped. Some people even took their hands and covered their ears. And in that moment, I felt my whole body turn bright red, not just my face, my whole body. I was so embarrassed. The sting of tears hit my eyes. I just wanted the stage to open up and swallow me whole. I had just blown out the eardrums of everybody in the entire school. It was bad. When the curtain fell, my choir director came over to me and put her arms around my shoulder. And I know she tried to console me, but I was inconsolable. I decided right then and there I would never sing in front of people again as long as I lived. I was so humiliated. It was only fourth period that day, so I had to go back to class, and I was not looking forward to getting back to class. But I remember having my hall pass clutched in my hand and walking through the front hall of the school, and my eyes were downcast, and suddenly in front of me was a pair of very large athletic shoes. I looked up into the eyes of the new kid. He had just transferred. He was a senior. I was a freshman. He looked down at me and he smiled, and I braced myself. What was he going to say? Whatever it was, I had it coming to me. I knew it would be something that would make me feel bad, but that's not what happened. He smiled down at me and he said, "You have a very powerful voice." And I remember going, yeah, wow, I had never thought about that. I had a very powerful voice. He made his way back to class, and I went on my way. And it was many years before I really looked back on that moment and realized how crucial it was to my life. In that moment, he gave me grace, kindness. He could have said anything, but he chose to say the nice thing. And it gave me permission to pursue my musical passion. I felt confident enough to try again, and I'm so glad I did. I cannot imagine my life today without music. I went on to study at the University of Kansas. I learned to work a mic, and I learned to work a room. And I love performing more than anything I can imagine. It's truly where I feel at home, and it brings me great joy. And if it weren't for that moment in the hallway, I think I would have followed my initial instinct to stop, to quit. My unsung hero, he's a very sung hero. His name is Rodney Peete. He would go on to become a professional baseball player and then a professional NFL player. He played with the Lions for many years, then the Cowboys and the Eagles, many teams. He played in the Super Bowl. He then went on to become a philanthropist and an activist for autism research and to help people in need. He's just a genuinely great guy, and he's many people's hero, but not for the same reason that he's my hero. If you were standing in front of me today, I would say thank you, Rodney Peete. Thank you for that moment of grace in that hallway. It made all the difference for me. And just as a side note, I'm really glad that we didn't have cell phones back then, and we didn't take videos of everything, because I'm sure that would have been posted. But as of now, I don't think it's on the internet, so thank you for that. Thank you, Rodney. I never got to really talk to you about that, and I'm sure you don't remember the moment, but I sure do. It made all the difference.